are. Good morning, kids. Hey, it's I. And I hope everything's going all right with you this morning. Well, heck. You know, people, we have the power. Right here, in the center of our being, the center of our chest. This place. Here. We got the power. Now, we've been wounded a lot in the heart areas. From the time we're tiny, most of us, some of us get away with a lot less than others, but we've been wounded, you know, and kind of made an emotional, spiritual covering over our heart so that we could endure some of the pains we've chosen for ourselves to go through, you know. It's not always easy, but after a while, when you start to appreciate living and breathing, when you've been close to death a few times, you know, you find an appreciation even in the pain, and you let go of all the severity of it, you know. No longer is it like a harsh and mean thing. It's just there. It's just pain, you know? And you can learn to love it that way. And in that way, release yourself from pain. You know, it's kind of a real way of forgiving others by forgiving yourself, in a sense. You know, you just let go of what's holding you back. You realize and understand that in this time, it's okay to be you, to let this heart open. And far from what the fear tells you, that you're going to be hurt, you're going to be blessed. Because by opening and allowing it to flow outward from you, you become a blessing. And you can't help but have those blessings come back to you. And that's all that's holding any of us back. That's it. We're there already, you know, but we've just been taught to so severely limit ourselves and not let go of our true beauty, you know. To cower and protect ourselves, or to rise and fight. You know, the old animal thing. But that ain't real any longer. When you open this heart, you've forgiven yourself for a mighty lot of things. And you've let go of the judgment that you've held on yourself for a long time. Actually, it's a judgment that comes to you from others down through the generations. Each one looks at the other one and kind of sneers at some point. And that's when the transfer happens. So we've carried it on for a long time, but these are the days we finish it. And as we start doing this inside of ourselves, and it don't take very many. It don't have to be the vast hordes. It can just be a few of us. Be a bigger blessing if it was many of us, and an even bigger one if it was all of us, which it will be as time progresses. You got to understand these things comes in stages and steps, but we're taking some pretty large ones now. And a lot of folks are real disappointed that 11/11 didn't turn out to be, you know, boing, we just jumped up 3 notches, you know. Nah, we did jump up those 3 notches. Now we got to catch up to ourselves. And that's why I'm sitting here talking about this opening. Because you got to see what's covering it up in order to let it go. And you've hidden it from yourself for the most part. Sometimes you're conscious of it and you do it willingly. But for the most part it's hidden. So it's going to come up. And it seems kind of negative. Kind of mean. You know? that ain't your reality anymore. But you're going to see this that you've been covering yourself up with, keeping this heart in check, when in reality it should have been running loose a long time ago. It never should have stopped from the moment its tiny little feet hit the floor, more or less. You know what I mean? It's always been meant to be active. And if it would have been babies, we'd be living in a better place already. Well, we are, because we have. Now we just let ourselves realize. Open the door. You know, don't walk sideways or backwards anymore and think that's cool. Put one foot in front of the other. Take your steps. Go through the process. And you will understand it. It will happen for you. And you will see the secret joy you've always held at being able to go through and endure and even thrive despite some pretty ungracious things. You know, like pain. The pain is that illusion we've created for ourselves in order to experience it. Didn't know what it was. Didn't have a clue. And how can you bless yourself if you haven't felt unblessed? You know? If you haven't felt completely out of it, and locked off from love, all that stuff. Separate, alone, isolated, cold, and weary. And afraid because you feel no support, you know? It's just you, alone. Oh my God. But it ain't. There's a whole lot of souls living there with you, right inside of the little person that you are. For starters. And as you open up and receive and share this heart blessing, you're going to find that many others share it too, that a lot of people you never suspected of being half decent folk can actually be pretty dang civil. I mean, this is how we change the way the world operates. This is the true revolution. It's the heart. And babies, if you want to see reality, if you want to make that huge leap that you expected, well, this is how you do it. You get yourself, if you aren't already, and a lot of you aren't, thank goodness for that, but get yourself into what they call a meditative state. Now, to me, that's been shown as kind of looking at this little screen in the middle of your forehead from inside of yourself. Something like that. You just notice the energy. You feel the energy in that. And then you, like in the palms of your hands, you begin to feel the energy in those. You know, you just notice that. And it's best if you close your eyes, you know, and do some incantations of one sort or another just to get yourself in the proper attitude. So you put your open palms facing upwards on your lap or alongside of you, however you feel. You know, this is a very personal thing. So anything I'm showing you here is hopefully a compliment to what you're doing already. There's nothing set. In other words, this isn't dogma. This isn't, you got to do this. You know, if you do as simple as what I've just shown you, just feel the energy in these places. The palms of your hand in the middle of your forehead. That's the beginning. A whole new life for you. And that'll calm you down. And listen, as you go into that state, just to help yourself feel better about it, thank whatever powers you feel operating through you or with you for being there. You know, I like to bring in the angels and the ancestors and the powers of the directional heart. But you'll each find your own way of doing that. It'll be shown you. And this is how we connect. This is how we experience one another, through the center of our forehead. This is where we, as humans, find our oneness. This is where we experience the connection into the heart and begin to know what we really are. I mean, it's not some impractical bullshit somebody's reading you out of the Bible. This is the reality. This is love. This is life. This is truth. This is where you go to experience it. So I'm just here trying to help you activate it, if you haven't already. And if you are activated, then it's time to go a little deeper and to focus, to pay a little more attention here to the interconnectedness. You know, of course you will feel it in the heart as well. Because in reality, what we're experiencing when we're trying to do human bonding, making love, those sort of things, is what we already are. We're trying to get back what we thought we left behind, but really it's never left us. It's the sheer bliss of knowing the oneness of love, the purity of the life within you, and the person that you are, experiencing the wholeness of that being. And then through our interconnectedness, seeing the love that you are, expressed in its many, many forms. And how loving all of that can be. And how out of kilter we've let it become. And let them fool us into thinking we're powerless, hopeless little beings who can only hope to survive here, and always going to have to struggle for it. That's the prescription of their love, and that's one form of it, but thank you very much, had enough. Time to receive what we give, and give what we receive. To share, to care, to notice that you are a caring being. That you've just been afraid because you've been taught to fear others because they'll take advantage of you and steal from you and steal your heart, your soul, take your blood, whatever. But that ain't the truth. And that ain't the reality. And you've been fooled, some of you pretty severely, into becoming some pretty harsh beings and sharing some pretty harsh experiences with others. Now this time we're changing all of that. This is real. And it's time for you to awaken to your purity too. And stop messing around in other people's lives. And go home to your heart and experience other people's lives, so that you can find the love and appreciation that you've always felt that you've lacked. And that's the only way you're going to experience it. Comes here right from this heart, in the middle of your chest, the person that you are. Sorry to get so carried away with that, but babies, you need to hear it. It's your love too. And it's very ungracious to be denying it all the time. So it's time you pulled your pants up and fastened your suspenders and quit playing with yourself. Start walking, one foot ahead of the other. and realize the reality of truth. What you do to another, you've done to yourself 100 times over. Because you're doing it to yourself when you're messing with another in a harsh sort of way or a good sort of way. You're either harming or blessing yourself. That's just how it works. And you can't escape it no matter how much money you have or how low you go. Try to drink yourself into oblivion. You can't escape it. It's you. Every bit of it is you. And no wonder you experience some torment about it. And try to put that away. And be a happy little dragon. Yeah, right. You can be a happy little dragon when you stop dragging your ass on the ground. And just get up and move through experience. This heart. Let the opening come. Be who you are. You want translation so that you can understand and see. And in the barriers that separate us, like language, open this heart. Experience this truth, babies. I'm telling you. Let it come to you. Be this person that you are. Don't be afraid. Let go of the fear. We're really not here to harm one another. And if you want peace, well, you've already found it. And that's all anyone wants here, is to feel peace, to experience it. Because hardly anybody does. In fact, to some it's unimaginable. Peace on earth? Yeah. That just means living in attunement. Allowing yourself to be who you are. You see some opening here? Let there be some opening there. Don't struggle with these old ways any longer. And the thoughts that keep them there working through you. Just let them flow by. Don't be a part of them anymore. Love them. But release them. Let them go. And begin to experience what the heart is quietly telling you. All the time. Be loving. Don't be afraid. This is what we're here to experience. And this is what we've come to bring to this place, because that's what's already here. Babies, we are marching through it now. And there really isn't any stopping it. So we're just here encouraging each other onward. That's what we're doing. And we're going to find some very blessed ways to do that too. Some fun ways. Because you know, all this severity goes out the window when you begin to experience truth. You know, it just does. And nothing seems as harsh as it did before. In fact, the harshness goes almost completely, it does go completely out of life as we go along. Stages and steps, remember that. But these are some pretty big ones. And this one, as you find this opening, will release you. And one day, soon, we're all going to step out in the streets, wherever we may be, whatever we may be doing. We're going to drop it, and we're going to step out on the streets, and we're going to begin dancing to the music, babies. Dance to the music, absolutely. And who knows when that will be. It'll probably be the day they shut the internet down, because they think they can shut people off that way. And that's the day we will realize our interconnectedness. And baby, we're going to be happy little campers. And we're going to be out there dancing in that street. Maybe even nakedly, who knows. But it'll be the most peaceful and happy and blissful experience we've known to date. Though it's going to get better from there. That's what we're here to create. And baby, if you want to experience connections with our brothers and sisters from the stars, realize they're in your heart first and foremost, and that you know them already. And then you're going to begin to see through the dimensions, the divisions that we've created to make structure for ourselves and kind of imprison ourselves in undelight for a while. Yeah. It's time to let go and release it and be it. It's time to be truthful with one another in an honest and heartfelt sort of way, without the bearing of judgment in it. To let go of the lies and the fraud that we've lived by. And be honest and sincere in every moment that we live and breathe. And because we can do that, learn to appreciate ourselves. And then develop some understanding for what the heck we are and what's going on here. Because then you'll experience others in a whole unique and different way. What you can find and appreciate in yourself, that's what's given to you in others. That's what they see. That's what they experience. See how powerful we are? See how this revolution works now? It spreads from one person to another, to another, to another, to another. It's the beginning of the age of the heart. The heart, the center. And if you haven't noticed, scientifically, Mother Earth, this solar system, is moving slowly but rapidly into the center position in the universe, symbolically representing the experience of the heart, returning to the center of ourselves and experiencing that truth. Well, babies, it's better than riding a buck and bronco and living to tell about it. But it's also steady plodding, one foot in front of the other. And if you haven't achieved that heart opening today, well, maybe tomorrow you'll begin to experience it in the morning light. And the more lights you see coming on around you, be encouraged by that. Because no, it can't help but be happening for you too. Love you, babies. Be sincere and rock and roll.